Welcome in to I Remember My First Time. Jacob, that's stone cold nasty of you.
Okay.
This is a podcast about cinematic awakenings,
I like the sound of that.
where we talk about movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
Oh my god, that sounds so exciting.
Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
God, I hope not.
Do we like shitty movies?
We love shitty movies, sometimes even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
Absolutely not.
But do we love movies?
Well, we do love the shit out of movies. And for this week, grab yourself a couple of Stevewisers, shave your head, put on your knee brace, jean shorts, and leather vest, and enjoy a very special holiday, the one true holiday episode. That's right. On Stone Cold Day 3/16, we have the Stone Cold Steve Austin classic, The Condemned. And if you don't like this episode, we will hit you with the Stone Cold Stunner and give you the double bird as we walk off. And that's the bottom line, because
Stone Cold said so. I'm excited about this episode, Jacob, and this glorious holiday.
oh, it's the one true holiday. I mean, neither one of us were in the mood to drink, but we both got Stevewisers because we have to offer up an offering to Steve Austin himself, the Texas rattlesnake.
Salute.
Salute.
Jacob, after watching this movie, I have one question. Are we the condemned?
BJ, it's just you and me. Let's dance, asshole.
I am Big Dumb Redneck BJ Leica.
Joined as always by me, Jakey Beakus. And I was born in a town about 80 miles north of Anchorage called Fuck Your Mama.
What a line, man.
Actually, we wrote it down wrong. It's joined as always by me, Jakey Beakus. And I was born in a little fishing town about 80 miles north of Anchorage called Fuck Your Mama.
Solid. Solid action hero line right there. So, we have The Condemned this week, a movie described by me as 10 inmates on death row from around the world compete in a battle royale where the winner gains their freedom.
And a pocket full of cash.
I didn't feel like looking up a review. This movie I watched on like Pluto TV or something. So I just wrote my own review or my own summary. And I don't care.
Sounds great. That's exactly what the movie's about.
6 out of 10 IMDb has this movie rated.
Too low.
15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
1-5.
Fuck 85% of those people.
And 23% on Metacritic.
Yep. Fuck 78% of critics.
I could not find a...
You could not find what?
I couldn't find a Roger Ebert review for this episode.
Oh, come on. He watched Freddy Got Fingered and reviewed that movie. How could he not review Stone Cold's acting debut? Film debut.
I was upset when I found this out. Upset. But I did find one from the Boston Globe's Wesley Morris in a review titled Cruel and Unusual Punishment for Viewers.
Okay.
Nobody rooting for the movie career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, the big swaggering professional wrestler, wants to hear that his debut vehicle, The Condemned, is execrable. So those people will have to stop reading this because it is.
Okay. What's execrable mean?
Terrible.
Okay.
The Condemned lasts almost 2 hours, and you can feel every minute as the FBI tries to figure out where the show is taking place, and as too few crew members start to turn mutinous on the adamantly loathsome producer played by Robert Mahone. I didn't feel every 2 hours of this movie. It kind of breathed for me, to be honest with you.
Oh, this movie was a cakewalk.
Austin himself is more interesting on the big screen than John Cena and Kane. Austin's fellow WWE stars who has had movies come out over the last year. He has a tough but pliable Texas draw that makes even the dumbest lines sound witty.
Agreed.
Ending the review, just watch Austin on WrestleMania. Instead, avoid the shower this movie makes you wanting.
A little harsh. This movie doesn't make me feel dirty. This movie's awesome.
2007, I couldn't watch Steve Austin on WrestleMania.
Correct. He had been out of wrestling for a while.
The only time you can watch Steve Austin wrestle is this past year at WrestleMania when he took on Kevin Owens.
Yup. And it was awesome. They did it in Dallas, because of course they did. When the Texas Rattlesnake comes out for a motherfucking match, you do it in fucking Texas.
Oh, yeah. And of course Kevin Owens comes on just bashing Texas and then gets his ass kicked by the Texas Rattlesnake himself.
I never got around to watching that. I need to go watch it.
There's a four-wheeler involved in the match.
Of course there is.
Put it that way. Yeah.
Of course there is. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Of course there's a four-wheeler.
Well,
so the popularity of this movie, I got it for you here, BJ. And it did pretty good for a WWE production. Only $8.6 million budget, which, you can see it's pretty easy. It's a WWE production, so Stone Cold's already under contract. And it was on a little island, so not a whole lot of action set pieces or whatever. $8.6 million in 2007, which is 12.4 today. So not very bad, and it brought in $20 million in 2007, so $29 million today.
Inflation's gone up that much since 2007?
Mm-hmm. You know it.
Damn.
But yeah, it made 3 times its money back, almost.
Well, Jacob, what'd you think of this movie?
BJ, I think our listeners should hear you go first, because you are the virgin. I have seen this movie, I think this is my 8th time.
So, watching this movie, I sat down expecting Steven Seagal B-level action movie at its finest. And I got something that was a little better than that. And that almost disappointed me. I almost wanted this movie to just be shitty. And it was much better than I thought it would be in terms of a movie. Obviously, there are still a lot of B-level stuff with this movie, but it's like a B+ movie, if that's a thing. Because it's definitely not an A movie, but I don't think it's a B movie either. So yeah. It's this odd B+ level movie that I was kind of intrigued with more than I should have been for this stupid ass plot.
I saw this movie for the first time in 2007. I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it the year it came out, and I thought it was fucking incredible. And I watched it this week, and I thought it was fucking incredible. It's so much fun. It's everything that I want. It's action. It's hand-to-hand explosions, badass lines, a bad guy, multiple bad guys really, one badass good guy, really intense stuff. I mean, they threw some intense stuff in this movie that really had no need being in it. And I thought they did really good at having that intense stuff in this movie.
Yeah, that threw me because I was like, what is this doing in a B-level action movie?
Yeah. So, I mean, this movie is just fucking cool. Me being a Texan, I get to watch Stone Cold Steve Austin be a badass Texan on screen because I don't care what anybody says, and this might sound arrogant, but Texans just walk different.
he
it
does have the Stone Cold walk in this movie.
It might be our big old dicks because everything's bigger in Texas. I don't know. I just know Texans just walk different. So more specifically, tell me what you liked about the movie.
You want to know what I liked about the movie?
What?
I'll tell you what I liked about the movie.
What?
Stone Cold Steve Austin is a badass.
What?
Vinnie Jones is acting his ass off.
What?
The bad guys are really, really bad guys.
What?
And the tank top game is strong in this movie.
If any of our listeners don't know the What Bit by Stone Cold, pause the podcast, go to YouTube, type in What Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're welcome.
Oh, wrestling fans still do that bit today.
Of course they do. Those are for our listeners that don't know what it is.
It's a great bit. What'd you like about it, Jacob?
All the things you said. I mean, there's nothing more to expand upon there, really. Everything about this movie was good, I thought. The secondary characters are good. Even the secondary criminals and the secondary producers, and even the people back home, like Steve Austin's girlfriend and the guys in his bar. Like, for as short as they were on screen, you connected with them, which again, hard to do in a B-level movie. Like, this isn't supposed to be that good.
It's not. The whole bar rooting for him, that made me feel more than it should have.
It was weird. So I like that. I like the action. I love Vinnie Jones. Like, Vinnie Jones in this movie, a star.
He is firing his fastball every scene, and he's in this movie a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's what I like. Pretty much everything. Anything you didn't like about this tour de force of filmmaking?
We got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Not one Stone Cold Stunner.
Not one Stone Cold Stunner.
Not one.
Not one. And you could have done it on the first two fights. The first two fights that Stone Cold was in, you could have done it. That's how he could have killed the Arab in El Salvador, and that's how he could have stunned the guy on top of that mountain.
If he would have stunned him, and he does the Rock-style cell job where he's falling back and falls off the cliff that way, freaking way better.
At least a point higher, right?
At least. It's Stone Cold. I want to see him do the stunner.
Agreed. What else did you not like?
I mean, obviously, it's still somewhat of a B-level action movie, so there are plot holes and geographical holes of how the island works that are just ridiculous, but I don't really care about that. The FBI storyline, why? That's my question, is why?
I have the perfect explanation of why the FBI storyline exists in this movie. Solely for exposition dumps.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because every time they went there, that's all it was.
Correct.
Was to tell you more about Stone Cold's character. Because I'm going to be honest with you, Jacob. I don't know a single character's name from this entire movie.
Let's see. Do I know the Mexican guy? I know the Mexican guy's name. You ready?
Yeah.
Amigo. That's what Stone Cold called him the whole time he was alive.
So I guess Stone Cold was Gringo in this movie then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know Stone Cold's name. Jack Conrad.
Incredible name.
Oh my God, so badass. So the question, is it a good or a bad movie? I'll let you answer first since Your cherry just popped. Oh, before you answer this movie, I also want all our listeners to know that, there are two hosts on this podcast. We're both big time wrestling fans, but only one of us watches wrestling every week. That is my co host, BJ. I do not watch wrestling every week. I can't find the time. I watch too much other shit. And this is BJ's first WWE production movie. He popped his cherry on WWE movies too.
Yeah, now I was into wrestling during the Attitude Era. And
yeah, that's how we both fell in love.
Yeah. And then there was the weird Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio fighting for Rey's for the rights to Rey's son. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm out. And I was out for 15 years. And I got in, I don't know, like 6 or 8 months ago. Mm-hmm. Wrestling's great fall asleep television too, because you can turn it off at basically any 10-minute stretch. Mm-hmm. You don't have to watch a whole 30 or 45-minute or hour-long episode. You can just be like, okay, this match is over. I want to go to bed. I'm going to bed. But back to the original question of, is this a good movie? It is not a good movie, but it is way better than it should have been.
My answer to this, anybody listening to our podcast as a longtime listener will not be surprised by this, I should say. This isn't a good movie. This movie's fucking incredible.
You knew I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
You knew it was coming.
I did. What time is it?
I was about to say, you know what time it is. It is the time of the episode where we get balls fucking deep.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore scenes, baby. And before the Mount Rushmore scenes, I just want to crack open my second beer because you only got one beer. I got 2 beers because every time Stone Cold gets beers in the ring, he gets 2 thrown at him. And I take this holiday way more seriously than you do, which makes sense since I was the one that grew up in a religious household. Here's another Stevester. That's for you, Rattlesnake.
Oh, big drink before Rushmore.
Oh, hell yes, you fucking know it. So I got something a little different with Rushmore this week in honor of our holiday. I have a wager for you, BJ.
What are we betting? Loser gets stunner. Loser gets the stunner.
Of course. How else could we do it? But I'm betting with how much we both love Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is our favorite wrestler. No. Our favorite person.
The one guest we would have above all others on this podcast.
Above Danny Trejo, Nick Cage. Who else have we talked about?
Tarantino. I'd rather
have the Texas Rattlesnake.
Yep.
I'm betting we have the same Mount Rushmore of scenes down to the order they're in.
You're on.
You don't think we have it down to the order we're in?
No, there's no way.
Okay. All right. Well, you being the virgin.
Well, we're gonna have to do rock, paper, scissors to make this fair.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to go at the same time.
Okay. All right.
So my fourth favorite scene.
My fourth favorite scene is the
helicopter drop-off of the inmates. Okay. All right. We still got 3 to go. We
do. But the important thing about this scene is, where does it end for you?
For me, it ends after the incredibly sexy African inmate blows up the big old Russian dude.
That is also when it ends for me. That's one of those seeds that we've already talked about, where the material they put in this movie was very intense and hard to deal with, and they did it very well. And this is the first moment you have that.
Yeah, and and when it happens, as shocking as it is, you're like, of course the death row prison inmate is trying to rape somebody.
Right. Like, duh.
And he doesn't get to because she blows his ass up.
After stabbing him in the neck with a wooden pike.
But this scene starts with them flying over the island in a helicopter and kicking the inmates out of the plane.
Yes. And in that scene, we get Stone Cold Steve, we get Jack Conrad's special forces training when he sees the buildings on the island and then looks at the compass on the helicopter. He's like, noted.
I think the Asian guy getting kicked out of the plane was my favorite part, where he steals the Ray-Bans.
It was between him and Stone Cold, because I enjoyed Stone Cold just giving him an elbow to the face.
Yeah, but the glasses, and then he comes out of the water and puts the glasses on. I was like, that's badass.
The glasses was way cooler. I'm just saying that those were the two coolest. Everybody else was real meh.
Yeah. And somebody died getting thrown out of the helicopter?
Exactly how it should have happened. You're dealing with death row inmates that don't give a fuck. They're not going to play by the rules, and something's going to go wrong.
My third favorite scene,
as well as my third favorite scene, is
the finale.
Vinnie Jones finale.
The final scene, was it a bit disappointing for you? Like not that it was bad, but just kind of after the final Vinnie Jones Stone Cold fight, it got pretty cheesy and super B-movie in this last scene.
I don't think it got cheesy or B-movie, because I think this is where they were tying up some of those ends of the things they were dealing with, those intense things. I just think that I don't know.
The helicopter flew away from the gunfire, and he was able to throw the ankle lock into the helicopter.
No, that part was cheesy. that I'm not arguing. I'm arguing when Vinnie Jones was in the recording studio, fucking shit up.
Yeah, and is it weird that the most I hated the bad guy, I don't know what his name was.
Vinnie Jones.
No, the producer.
Oh, Ari Silver.
Ari Silver, like as in like bootleg Ari Gold? Is that what you? Okay, all right, okay. I was like, was that his name really? And then it hit me. I got it. That
was not his name.
I thought he was more of an asshole when he wouldn't pay his employees more than he was the entire rest of the movie.
Quintessential American.
like that's when I was like, oh, he's even worse than I thought. Not only is he all this shit, he doesn't even pay his employees.
Right.
Fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy. What a piece of shit. I really enjoyed the Vinnie Jones just telling Steve Austin how shit his life was, like the African prison and being raped and going to every hellhole in the world. And Stone Cold's like, sounds like you had a pretty rough life. Good thing it's over.
That is a sweet one-liner right there.
That is a killer one-liner.
Good thing it's over.
And this scene, before we leave the scene, I really enjoyed with how evil and awful Vinnie Jones' character was when he walked in that recording studio and saw all the recordings and everything. And like like, yeah, this guy's evil and he's a killer and he's a rapist and everything, but also like everyone has that line, and he's like, "You fucking get off on this? Like, I may be evil, but I've been created to be this way." I was like, "But this is the shit you like watching and producing," and I really felt that in that scene.
Yeah, no, he was really good in this whole movie. He was the best in that last scene. The cheesy part I was referring to was the helicopter crash.
Yes, the helicopter crash was cheesy, but it was also incredible.
Oh, Stone Cold showing up there at the end got a fist pump from me when watching this movie.
I love watching Stone Cold run in this movie because he didn't look good doing it, but he also didn't look bad.
Yeah, and he's had knee issues big time.
I thought he looked great running.
Yeah,
I was very happy with it.
He's not Tom Cruise, right?
No.
But you're right. It wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Mm-hmm. Anything else about the final scene?
No. Vinnie Jones killed the performance. And
when do we start this scene? Do we start the scene when Ari Silver kills his best friend, or do we start it when Ari Silver leaves Vinnie Jones?
When Ari Silver leaves Vinnie Jones.
I think so too. We're so far. I am winning this bet. We have 2 more to go.
I'm about to get stunnered, ain't I?
I think so. My second favorite scene.
This might be where we differ.
Maybe.
Because I think one will be the same. But I think this might be where we differ.
My second favorite scene. Your second favorite scene. The intro.
Son of a bitch.
To the criminals.
Son of a bitch. Well, I'll say it right here. Follow us on social media at IRMFT Pod, because there's going to be a video of me getting the stunner.
It's going to be incredible. But this scene is so cool. It's so awesome. So obviously this is our only lie, steal, and cheat scene, because you have to start it when they're in the El Salvador prison.
Oh yeah,
and we meet Stone Cold for the first time.
When Stone Cold pulls out the 2-piece, just that 1-2, and just knocks that big son of a bitch out cold.
Even before he pulls out the 2-piece, whenever the guards go to get Stone Cold, he's like, "Hey Gringo, the warden wants to see you." And then Stone Cold's incredible voice, "Tell the warden he can go fuck himself."
He just is over everything in this movie.
And then he pumps that 1-2 punch on the big Arab guy. "Can I go now?"
Jeez.
And then we get to meeting all of the criminals.
The Asian guy, just 3 people are carrying him, and he's just nonstop fighting while he's in shackles.
Love that. I love, as soon as we get introduced to Vinnie Jones, even if you had no idea who Vinnie Jones was before this movie, you knew the moment he started talking, this guy's going to be trouble.
Oh, yeah. And that's what good bad guys do.
Correct. The Hispanic couple, because what a great couple. Obviously, none of their scenes other than this one are going to be on our top 2, but they did some incredible stuff with that couple that shouldn't be in a B movie.
And the tank tops.
The tank tops. Oh, the tank tops.
I need to reiterate the tank tops. Because they are strong in this movie.
The tank tops are batting at 95.
Yeah. They are very low cut.
As they should be. We get the incredible What were you doing in El Salvador? Working on my tan. Why'd you blow up the building? It was blocking my sun. What do you do for a living? I'm an interior decorator. Where are you from back in the States? A little fishing town 80 miles north of Anchorage. You might have heard of it. It's called Fuck Your Mama.
Say that he was a ex-KKK member and bombed a hospital for the mentally disabled.
He said mentally retarded.
Oh,
mentally
man.
retarded and disabled.
Ugh. 2007 was a wild time, guys.
What an incredible scene. Just amazing. And now is when I officially win this bet. The number one scene. I have it titled Texas Rattlesnake versus Vinnie Jones.
Yep, that's it.
Knew it. I knew we'd have the same four in order.
I'm going to have to take a stunner.
I'm so excited to Stone Cold Stunner you, and I'm excited that the person that's probably going to film it is Nema, so she can watch a wrestling move in real life.
The only thing, if she's filming it, when you do it, she has to go, Stunner! Stunner!
I'll tell her, and if she's not down to do that, I will find someone else to film it.
Okay.
Because, like we said, the thing that makes wrestling amazing is the announcers.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this scene. I'll start off with, I love how him picking up the tape of all things in his recon mission to the tower, that he used them to tape the rebar onto his forearms as a defense mechanism.
That was so cool. The knives in this movie kick ass.
Yeah, they really do. We get some incredible one-liners from this scene with the Asian guy. Let's go, sweetheart. Also, I haven't asked you yet, do you like my Stone Cold voice?
Yeah.
Okay. And with Vinnie Jones, your opening line, let's dance, asshole.
Let's dance.
And then right before he jumps off the cliff, fuck it.
The giant explosion when the African girl, when they killed the African girl, that was a wild fucking explosion.
That was incredible. I also loved her just saying fuck it. Like, she's like, I have an arrow in my back, I'm done. I also loved Stone Cold fighting the little Asian guy because it was just a badass fight.
Yeah, styles make great fights.
One of the things that I liked a lot about this scene is all of the civilians, quote unquote, at the bar. Stone Cold's friends.
Yeah.
I liked how much they were rooting for him, but when the full brutality and all of that comes from actually killing somebody, like in this movie, this character or Steve Austin's character is Special Forces. He's done this before. He's used to it. But people that don't experience this level of brutality and violence, it's just, and they portrayed it so well because, I mean, they're rooting for Jack Conrad, but they're also like,
this
oh my
is
God,
wrong.
Like, he's beating the shit out of this guy and he's going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then when he kills him, like, even though they're rooting for him, they're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's another one of those parts of the movie that is like shouldn't be in a B movie.
Mm-hmm. The whole Vinnie Jones and Stone Cold fight. I love how long it went. I loved all the different aspects of it. Him getting the shotgun, the jumping off the cliff. You got a bunch of those one-liners that I love when two action stars get in a fist fight and you get the I think it's very well done, and we talked about it in the Die Hard movie when John McClane is beating the fuck out of the big German on the staircase, and he's like, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. Your brother was a little bitch when I killed him, and da-da-da. Like, we get that from this scene when Stone Cold's beating the shit out of Vinnie Jones.
Yep. Great scene.
Yes.
Honestly, super awesome scene. I don't have any honorable mentions.
The only honorable mention I do have one. and it's the tower recon scene.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Where Stone Cold basically becomes an actual human.
Yeah, he helps the Hispanic guy. He puts the blocker over his bomb tracker, and he makes it all the way to the tower. Like that was a good scene, and the on top of him becoming, like you said, a human character in the scene. The reason this scene makes it on my honorable mentions is because this is really the only scene that we get the stone cold stare between the good guy and the bad guy.
Yeah, because the ultimate bad guy is Ari Silver,
Yeah,
not Vinny Jones.
Like even Stone Cold, like when it comes to Vinny Jones, like Stone Cold gets it.
Yeah,
but like they're not the same. Like he says in that, like right before the like when they fight and they're fine a little thing, but Stone Cold understands how Vinny Jones got to where he's at.
sure. The producer, he's like, you're just a fucking monster.
Correct. I get to Stone Cold Stunner you.
God damn, that's good. I'm gonna sell it like The Rock.
It'll be our first TikTok on the IRMFT TikTok page. That's it. That is a high bar for our first TikTok video.
You get one take though.
Oh, of course. You only get to do this once. We're not professionals. Okay. What do we have for a movie-related talk? Because I know we have one this week. It's 3/16. It's Stone Cold Day.
In honor of Stone Cold Day, it's not about the movie. I just want to know what your favorite Stone Cold moment of all time is.
Favorite Stone Cold moment? You asked me this last week. I didn't realize this was going to be the movie-related talk. And I have been racking my brain to try to figure it out, but I want to hear yours first.
So mine is self-admitted big fan of goofy wrestling. My favorite Stone Cold moment is Stone Cold and Booker T in the supermarket fight.
Oh my God, that's an incredible Stone Cold moment.
I watched it on YouTube this week in preparation, and the two things that stood out to me: Stone Cold grabs ketchup and he starts just squirting it on Booker T, and he goes, "You want some ketchup for this ass whooping?"
So there was a my dad bought me and my brother our first Nintendo 64, and one of the first games that we got on it was the 1996 or 99. It had to have been 98 or 99. Wrestling 64, and Stone Cold's on the cover with his leather vest with both arms up, and of course Stone Cold is the wrestler me and David used the most. And there's this move where you run towards the wrestler. Stone Cold tackles him, punches him in the face 3 times, and then shakes his head side to side like Stone Cold does, and he says a couple of different things. But my favorite thing he said, and this is when wrestling was still PG-13, he went, "Don't take this ass whooping personally, son."
Yeah, when he said, "You want some ketchup with this ass whooping?" And the other time was it Jim Ross? Was that the announcer of the time?
Yes, that Jim Ross's mouth barely moves.
Yeah. So Stone Cold opens up a thing of flour, starts dumping it on Booker T, and Jim Ross goes, "Nothing says lovin' like something from the oven." I just the first time I saw it live, I was laughing my ass off, and watching it on YouTube this week, I was laughing my ass off. Love goofy wrestling. Love the supermarket fight with Booker T.
That's such a great pick for this. My favorite Stone Cold moment, and like I said, I've been racking this in my head all week, but I've narrowed it down. It is the first time. No, I'll start over describing this. It is the official, in my mind, it is the official kickoff to the Attitude Era. It is when Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon are in the ring, and Vince McMahon is telling Stone Cold the deal. what he needs, yada, yada, yada.
I run this joint.
Yeah, yeah. This is how I need this to work out. This is who you are in this joint. I am the man. And Stone Cold is just sitting there and taking it. Vince McMahon gets done talking, puts out his hand to shake Stone Cold's hand. Stone Cold looks at it and then gives Vince McMahon a Stone Cold stunner. And Vince McMahon is just sitting there like acting paralyzed, like shaking on the ground. And Stone Cold just shaking his head and giving Vince the double bird. I was like, fuck yes.
Speaking of the double bird, is the proper way to give the middle finger the Stone Cold way or the Johnny Cash way?
Oh, it's the Stone Cold way for sure.
No thumb out.
No thumb
tucked
out.
in.
Thumb tucked in, thumb out. And the reason I think it's a Stone Cold way, I have a theory behind this because this is something that I have talked about to people. I think the Stone Cold way is the right way, and the reason we see it as the right way because it's the Texas way. It's aggressive as shit.
It is
like it
so much more aggressive.
Yeah, it is fuck you, in your face, fuck off, fuck you, motherfucker. Whereas the thumb out is kind of like, yeah, fuck you.
All right, fair. Good answer.
And if I flick someone off, it's not to be like, no, fuck you. It's to be like, no, motherfucker, fuck you.
Honorable mention to both the spraying of the beer, spraying Vince McMahon with beer out of the fire hose.
And yes.
And beating Vince McMahon up in the hospital, whacking the shit out of him with a bedpan.
Yes. Yes. Also, I'll do one more honorable mention because this is the Attitude Era is when the WWE started to do stunts like this, like the ones that actually look kind of scary. But there's this one where Stone Cold has Triple H in an F-150, and he rises and he takes the F-150 up on a forklift and then tosses it over.
Yep.
And it falls straight on its cab and smashes. Like, obviously Triple H isn't in the car, but the way they edit that, and for the most part, wrestling is shot live. Like, Triple H was in the truck whenever Stone Cold started lifting it with the forklift, and then he flipped it over. And that's when wrestling really started to do those bits too. And Stone Cold was at the forefront of it.
So,
but I believe I posted a meme on Facebook. Like, when like people our age, people listening to this episode that really get it, when you start to feel down about yourself, then you start to feel down about the economy and where the world's at and how racist everyone still is, just know that we were born and witnessed a golden era of wrestling. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the Attitude Era, Vince McMahon flailing his arms around as he walks down to the stage, Triple H with the sledgehammer. Like, we had it fucking made for about 10 years.
The Dudley Boys.
The fucking Dudley Boys. Booker T. Oh.
Shawn Michaels still doing his thing.
Like and you still had the classics. You still had Ric Flair, like, still like in the late part of his prime part of his career. You had Rey Mysterio, like towards the end of the Attitude Era, Rey Mysterio, like, so much stuff happened in the Attitude Era.
Our guy Eddie Guerrero teaching us how to lie, cheat, and steal.
We were right there for all of it. So when you're feeling down about yourself, just pay homage to Stone Cold Day. That's all I have to say to end the movie-related talk.
Let's go on to trivia then.
No, sir. Character breakdown.
Oh, that's right. So we got to start with our man, the stonest of coldest, Mr. Steve Austin.
The Texas Rattlesnake. So badass.
I was surprised at how good he was.
I want to see more action movies with him in it.
Even if he's just a, kind of a one or two scene side character. Even if he does the Sam Elliott from Roadhouse.
Sure. Like give me Stone Cold and the Expendables. Put him in something like that. Like even make it smaller than Sam Elliott in Roadhouse.
I will say he was not on screen very often.
Yeah, but I mean, as much as I love Stone Cold, and I do, Vinnie Jones is the better actor.
For sure, yeah.
And bad guys make good movies. So he didn't need to be on the screen a lot.
Well, let's roll right along.
Speaking of our man, Vinnie Jones.
Best part of the movie, right?
Yes. Like I said, Vinnie Jones is a star in this movie.
So we've seen people give, like, going for it more than Vinnie Jones on, like, a per minute of screen time base. No one's going as hard as Vinnie Jones for the full 40 frickin' minutes he's in this movie.
Correct.
We have not seen this yet on this podcast of someone just throwing caution to the wind and going balls out.
And this is one of those things that also shouldn't be in a B movie. Like, it shouldn't be this good.
No.
Like, Vinnie Jones is throwing out a performance.
You shouldn't be Hans Grubering it in a WWE production.
Correct. All right. Ari Silver. Our fake Ari Gold.
Yeah, silver might be a stretch. This might be like Ari Aluminum.
Right. I can see why Jeremy Piven made it and he didn't.
Plus, he was pulling great 2007 douchebag energy.
Yes. He had that on lockdown.
The who was the Girls Gone Wild producer?
Oh, I forget his name. It doesn't matter. But yes.
Joe Francis.
Joe Francis. That's what it was.
Just such scumbag Joe Francis energy to this guy. We can call him Ari Aluminum all we want. I fucking loved what he was bringing to this movie.
I did too. But yeah, his character was great. And he sold it. All right, BJ. 2 characters you want to talk about.
The first one I'm going to talk about is I don't know if he was like the head engineer, production guy, whatever, the Jewish guy.
Okay.
I thought his performance, again, that is not needed in a shitty B-level action movie.
Yeah, no, not needed. And he did great.
You know, with him going through the turmoil of like, all right, fine, I'll do this. All right, yeah, they're prison inmates, whatever. And then seeing it and being like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah. His performance was incredible. I really liked him. Your second one.
On a different note, I don't know if it was the producer's girlfriend or what the blonde British lady was, but I was very confused on why this character was in here and what she did. And I did not understand that character a single bit.
I didn't either. She kind of annoyed me.
These are the things that you kind of expect out of a B-level action movie.
Yes.
But those were my 2 that I kind of wanted to touch on. What about you?
Well, the one I want to touch on first, and there's not much to say about him, but I have a tattoo of Scooby-Doo, so I have to do Shaggy Light.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that dude looked like Shaggy.
Yeah, that in this era, that guy was like, I could be Seth Green.
Correct. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Shaggy Light. I liked his character for what he was. I thought that his, like, obviously the best acting he did was in the finale when Vinnie Jones is killing everybody, and I thought he sold it. Like, I was like, this guy could have gotten more roles. He should have.
Yeah, I thought that was a solid one of those type of character performances.
Mm-hmm. And then on another the complete flip side, I guess, the little Asian guy. Like, why do I not know more kung fu movies with this guy in it?
Man, that guy had big dick energy like a motherfucker.
Like a motherfucker. One of my favorite little bits of the movie was after they get that care package and he does the standing still somersault, and Vinny Jones is just like, I settled down a bit. I don't know why I find that so funny, but every time I watch this movie, I chuckle a little bit at that scene.
Yeah, that guy's great. His kung fu's good. He's funny. The sunglasses,
I want to see more movies with him in it.
Great fight. He had a great one-on-one with Stone Cold.
I will be looking him up. And that's our character breakdown. Now on to trivia and facts. And as you can guess with a movie like this, there's not a lot of trivia and there's not a lot of facts.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold says so.
So I did something a tad bit different this week in honor of 316. I went on the Goofs page on IMDb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and read through the goofs. So we have some goofs on the trivia and facts this week. So the trivia is Nathan Jones, who is the first guy that Stone Cold fights. He has also starred in the WWE alongside Steve Austin.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I didn't get any other information besides that. Sorry. Steve Austin and Vinnie Jones, by the way, BJ. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save this trivia for last so you can laugh your ass off.
Okay.
Steve Austin was originally offered the part Vinnie Jones plays, but after the WWE decided to make the movie in their WWE films department, they gave Steve Austin the lead role.
I do not like the movie the other way around.
I don't either. The bad guy had to be someone who was a good actor, and as much as I love Stone Cold, he's not Vinnie Jones.
Yeah.
Steve Austin referred to Vinnie Jones as number 2. Vinnie Jones referred to Steve Austin as number 1. The reason they referred to each other this way was that's how they were billed in the film. When Vinnie Jones takes the machine gun from the cameraman, he says, "Merry Christmas." This is a reference to Die Hard.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Yep. I was about to say the gun is the exact type of gun John McClane obtains before famously sending the message, "Ho, ho, ho, now I have a machine gun." And then the last bit of trivia is cameras on the island face inward versus outward because, duh. The goofs of the movie, after Conrad says fuck it and jumps off the cliff into the water, he emerges a moment later completely dry.
Don't care.
At an hour and 39 minutes, Vinnie Jones' character is asking for a spare smoke. The direction of his head changes in each cut. You'd get whiplash moving your head that fast. When McStarley shoots into the water with the shotgun, the supposed splashes of the shotgun pellets are far to the left of where the shotgun is pointing at the water. When the private jet with the combatants lands in the secret location, it appears as Atepe, Papua New Guinea. In reality, the airstrip could not take anything more than a Twin Otter, let alone a Learjet. And lastly, when Conrad is coming home, there is a Texas Highway 59 sign on the side of the road. A little while later, there is a Farm Road sign, 2335 sign. Farm Road 2335 only crosses Highway 67 and 277, not Highway 59.
Do we know where it crosses those highways?
No, because I didn't do that much research.
Of course not.
And to end the trivia and facts is one of the best ones I've ever read. Steve Austin and Vinnie Jones would often play jokes on each other during filming. Steve would put inflatable sex dolls in Vinnie's trailer and one time also put up 50 signed autographed pictures of himself all around his trailer.
You think Vinnie Jones did anything to those sex dolls?
100% he did. But yeah, that's my trivia and facts.
All right, short and sweet. Short and sweet.
Yes, sir.
We might have to do goofs more often.
Yeah, those are fun, weren't they?
Yeah.
All right. BJ, is her movie impersonation this week Vinnie Jones?
No.
What is it then?
It is your choice of a WWE superstar.
Okay.
I'll start it off here. My name is Paul Heyman, and we've got an issue with one Jacob Ekus. And that's why this Saturday at WrestleMania, he will be destroyed by your tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
That's a pretty good Paul Heyman, BJ.
That's my audition for the WWE to, like, whenever Paul Heyman decides to retire, just put me right in there.
I can do it.
I'll step right in. We're about to find out how well I can get stunned, or I can get stunned.
And it's going to be really good. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. I've been waiting for this moment all of my life. Are you ready?
Hey, Phil Collins.
You ready?
Let's go. Oh, John Cena. Here we go. Jacob, where'd you go? You just disappeared. What happened?
That's right. You can't see me.
Shit.
John Cena, baby.
So, that's such a lame joke, but it never gets old.
Never gets old. And I believe the reason it doesn't get old is because John Cena loves the shit out of that joke. I came across the photo yet again of John Cena and his prom date, and the meme was still crazy that this chick decided to go by herself to the prom. And John Cena straight up looking like a 27-year-old man in his prom photo.
Yeah. Horrible haircut.
Horrible haircut. Okay. Final thoughts on the movie in general. I'll go ahead and start off because I know you have more to say about this than I do. This movie's incredible. I love this movie. This movie, in honor of the Texas Rattlesnake and Stone Cold Day, March 16th. Austin 316, motherfucker.
What does Austin 316 mean?
I don't know. Do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know, but go ahead and tell our listeners.
Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass.
So in honor of the Texas Rattlesnake, my rating of this movie is a 9.316.
Nice. It is not that good of a movie for me, but it's better than it should be, which may honestly make the movie worse than it would be in the rankings.
Yeah, fair. Oddly enough.
But I think this movie's right about a 6.8. It's fun. It's better than it should be. And I kind of wish it was shittier. I kind of wish it was a shittier B movie.
So you, ideally for the inaugural Stone Cold Day episode, you wanted something like Stone Cold's Recoil with Danny Trejo.
I haven't seen it, but there's no way that movie's not a shitty B movie.
I haven't seen it either, but I feel pretty confident that that's what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Should they remake this? Yes. I mean, it's Battle Royale.
They did with Randy Orton, right?
I mean, yeah, they did the Condemned too, but I'm just saying, this this movie script, this idea, it's been done before. It'll be done again. Keep doing it. Like it's a fun. It's a fun.
I mean,
thing to watch.
the Hunger Games stole it.
Like I said, all of it. Like keep making them. Good and bad reviews from IMDb. And BJ, I think you're going to enjoy these.
Okay.
From Jordan Myers, 2770 11-1. Titled Amazing. It's 10 out of 10. I watched this film as an 8-year-old youth. Wow. What a film. Still to this day, I don't know how Stone Cold didn't win an Oscar alongside his co-star, Vinicio Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
This film was the film that turned me into a man. If you have spare time in your day, then watch this film. It really gets the blood flowing.
Really puts that hair on your chest.
Yeah. Yep.
Needless to say, that guy's welcome on the podcast.
Yes. Still to this day, I don't know how Stone Cold didn't win an Oscar alongside his co-actor, Vinicio Jones.
Vinicio.
Okay. From the_pa_225. 1 out of 10. Titled Weak. You guys want to know why The Rock, a.k.a. Dwayne Johnson's movies are so much more successful? Because he does his signature move, the rock bottom, in every one. I waited the whole movie for someone to get motherfucking stunned. This movie sucked. Let's repeat this. You guys want to know why The Rock, a.k.a. Dwayne Johnson's movies are so much more successful? Because he does his signature move, the rock bottom, in every one. I waited the whole movie for someone to get motherfucking stunned. This movie sucked. Just kidding. I liked it. I just wish someone got hit with a Stone Cold Stunner and that he wore his knee brace.
The very rare good review and bad review, both welcome on the podcast. And also, my wife loves Dwayne Johnson movies. There's not a chance in hell she knows what the rock bottom is.
No. But everybody knows what the Stone Cold Stunner is.
I'll ask her.
No. I guess everybody doesn't know. I didn't mean it that way. I would say not even every wrestling fan knows what the rock bottom is.
I mean, it's just a choke slam.
I know what it is, but if you don't call it the rock bottom, then you just see it as a choke slam.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But anyways, the question of the entire pod, when it boils down to it, should people watch this movie? And the answer is, fuck yes.
I'm going to actually say yes, just because it's so damn interesting to watch a movie that should clearly be a shitty B-level action movie that's actually pretty damn good. It's so interesting to watch in that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, watch it.
Okay, cool. Well, that was our inaugural Stone Cold Day episode. I don't know what we call this holiday. Austin 316, Stone Cold Day, the Day of the Rattlesnake, Texas Rattlesnake Day.
I always just called it Stone Cold Day.
But any of them fit. And like we've reiterated throughout the entire pod, the only non-made-up holiday in the U.S.
Fans of ours, help us get Stone Cold on this podcast.
Let's do it. What do we have next week, BJ? One of the few times we actually know what we're doing next week in honor of Stone Cold Day. The first person to ever not get pinned by the Stone Cold Stunner is ironically also the first person, or ironically is also, how do I say this? Stone Cold is the first person to not get pinned by his signature move. That's right.
Stone Cold once took 3 rock bottoms in a match.
That's right, BJ. We have a Dwayne Johnson movie next week. Probably in our opinion, one of the top 5 or top 10 action movies of all time. BJ, what is it?
We saw the Fast X trailer. Yes, the movie should be called Fast 10 Your Seatbelt. Why they didn't do that, I have no idea. But we got excited when we saw that trailer. And we're doing Fast 5.
One of the best action movies of all fucking time.
You know what? We enjoyed this movie both of our first time together.
We did. We did. It was incredible. So we'll see y'all next week for the follow-up to Stone Cold Day, the only way we knew how to do it, with a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie.
Check out our social medias at IRMFT Pod, because I will be getting the Stone Cold Stunner courtesy of Jacob.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.